So we discussed about TPDS and today we need to discuss about NFSA, National Food Security Act 2013. Okay, so just write National Food Security Act 2013. So we started with PDS. Okay, PDS was restructured by TPDS. Okay, so targeted PDS, and we have seen what is actually happening in case of TPDS based on BPL APL category, and we have also seen Antyodaya was created after Antyodaya Anna Yojana. Now here NFSA will actually restructure the TPDS. Okay, so targeted PDS will be restructured by NFSA. So first we will see the coverage here under NFSA. When we discussed about TPDS, targeted PDS, it was universal coverage, right? But here it is not universal, it is limited coverage. Why in TPDS it was universal coverage? See, there may be some states excluding APL category, some states exclude APL category, they will only go for BPL category. But generally it is universal coverage. That means APL and BPL is covered. So population is divided into only two categories, APL and BPL. Some states may exclude this category APL, but generally all are covered. So it was universal coverage in case of TPDS. Okay, but in case of National Food Security Act, it is not universal coverage. I'll tell you what is the coverage here. So in case of rural, it is 75% of the population. Rural 75% of the population, and urban, it is rural, urban, it is 50% of population is actually covered. So total it is 67%, 2 by 3rd of the population is actually covered. Okay, so 2 by 3rd of the population is covered. So that is what you can see under National Food Security Act, total 67%. So now who are the 67%? So if you see the beneficiaries, first there is actually a priority household, then there is a Antyodaya household. So if you remember, yesterday I have discussed about this Antyodaya household. Initially it was 1 crore households, but here now it is 2.5 crore households. That is the poorest of the poor. So 2.5 crore household means if you take on an average 5 member per household, around 12.5 crore population is actually covered under this. So earlier there were 3 categories. What are the 3 categories? There was APL, there was BPL, and there was a Antyodaya, right? So this was a 3 category earlier. Now also there is a 3 category. What is that? The one is Antyodaya, that is there, then priority household, then the third type which is excluded, that they are not part of this. Okay, so here also you can see the 3 type. So earlier 3 type was like APL, BPL, Antyodaya. Here also there is a priority household. Now who will identify the beneficiary? It is the state government will identify the beneficiary. Earlier who will identify? It was the planning commission based on the poverty line. The poverty line fixed by various expert committees, right? That we have discussed before, Suresh Tendulkar committee, Rangarajan committee, even before that Lekadwala committee. But Supreme Court also criticized Suresh Tendulkar committee, and after that planning commission's approach based on that poverty line, the welfare schemes, all the welfare schemes are actually delinked. Okay, so now the state government is actually identifying the beneficiaries. Now how much priority household will get? What is the allocation? Allocation is 5 kilogram per person. Now some states it's like on an average per family 25 25 kilogram. Assumption is 5 member per family. Okay, so earlier this was, we have discussed 35 kg. Now it was less than or equal to 25 kg. Okay, so this is the allocation now. Earlier, yesterday when I have discussed under TPDS, I have told you 35 kg. Now less than 25 kg. What about here? Antyodaya, they get 35 kg per household. Okay, so earlier also, remember this, there were 3 category: APL, BPL, Antyodaya under TPDS. Now NFSA also, there is a 3rd category, right? This is the 2 by 3rd population. 2 by 3rd population will get the benefit. right? 67 percentage. They have also divided into priority and Antyodaya. Rest of the 1/3, that is the third category. They are excluded from the benefit out of it. Okay. Now what about the issue price here? You also need to know the issue price. Rupee 1 per coarse grain, okay, and 2 for wheat and 3 for rice. Now yesterday also I have discussed this as the issue price, but when I have discussed yesterday, I have told you this is for only Antyodaya household. That was the issue price for Antyodaya household, but for BPL it was half of economic cost. But now for everybody, priority household, for this group and for this group, the issue price is same. What is the difference? The allocation is different. Here 35, here 25. Okay, and there is an excluded category. So you see here the price, there is no difference between priority household as well as Antyodaya household. The issue price remain the same. 1 for coarse grain, 2 for wheat and 3 for price. When we discussed about TPDS, that rate is only for Antyodaya. And what was the issue price for BPL? It was half of economic cost. What was the price for APL? It was economic cost. And we have discussed the problems. So here priority household and Antyodaya household, they get it at same price, 1, 2, 3. Okay, 1 for coarse grain, 2 for wheat and 3 for rice. So here the difference you can see here 25 kg and 35 kg. That's the main difference. So issue price is same. Now see here, it is issue price is actually same for both category. Now overall subsidy will increase or decrease here. 1/3 is actually excluded. Earlier 1/3 was also there. 1/3 is actually excluded now. They are not going to get any subsidy. So what about the overall burden of the subsidy? Will it increase or decrease? It will actually increase so high, and I will show you the statistics also later. So it will increase so high because even though that 1/3 is excluded, now the priority household is getting at a very cheaper price, which is, you know, almost 3 times the subsidy which was given before. Okay, the price of priority household is almost decreased 3 times. Earlier BPL category were getting at half of economic cost. Now 1, 2, 3. This was the rate at which Antyodaya used to get, right? But this is actually the reason subsidy is going to be so high. And in 2013 the estimate is 85,000 crore is what actually estimated that the subsidy. But it was later revised to 1.3 lakh crore, something like that. And it will violate a WTO agreement, WTO norm, that I will discuss later. Agreement on agriculture, that you have a limit on giving subsidy. And later we won the case. We got some relaxation with respect to this because we claim that it is to meet our food security requirement, and we negotiated with US and we got some relaxation. So there was an agreement and we were supposed to sign this trade facilitation agreement also. I will discuss that under WTO. At that time we negotiated, and we were allowed to see, it was like this, we were allowed to violate the provision of agreement on agriculture by giving more subsidy. So you have a limitation in giving subsidy under agreement on agriculture. You cannot give more than 10% of the output. Of the output means, what was the output, agricultural output in 1986, 87, that time. So this is considered as the base year. So that output, 10% of that. See, this year is very old, right? The output was also very less. So here you can see 10% of that only you can give as maximum. But if you are giving 1.3 lakh crore, it is going to cross that. So this is actually violation of WTO norms, and we got the relaxation under the agreement that we will sign the trade facilitation agreement, and then we have gone for it. And under that context we were allowed to deviate or violate. Okay, so those things we will discuss under WTO. We will do that under international institutions. So this is the case. So
Excuse me, sir.
yeah, tell me.
Sir, I am not able to understand that subsidy section.
Subsidy section in detail I'll discuss under WTO. So what I'm saying is, government is giving around more than the subsidy is huge. That much you understood, right? But when you are giving this huge subsidy, you are not supposed to do this under WTO agreements. There is an agreement on agriculture. Under this, you cannot give more than 10% of your total output as the subsidy. Why it is 10% and why it is fixed, so etc. I'll discuss. Because if you are giving too much subsidy, here the price will be low, okay, and you will be in a position to export it. So the other country may face some problem. This concept we will discuss later. So forget about that now. Just understand the
Sir, can you please repeat? I mean, explain again the 1/3 and 2/3. I'm not able to get.
1/3 and 2/3 means what is the see? What I'm saying is earlier in TPDS it was divided into two category: APL, BPL. Later Antyodaya, like the three category was there, right? Is that okay?
Yes.
Yeah, so that means there was a universal coverage. Everybody is getting benefit. APL is getting at economic cost, BPL is getting at half of economic cost, and Antyodaya is getting at 1, 2, 3 rupee. That is the easiest, cheaper one. Is that okay? Right? That means everybody was getting the benefit. Universal coverage is there. But now that is not the case. The population, everybody is not getting the benefit. In rural area, 75% of the population, in urban area 50% of the population only will get the benefit. So that is what 67% of the total population combining rural and urban will get the benefit out of NFSA. That means 2/3 of the population, 67. So 1/3 means that is excluded. They are not going to get any benefit. And this 67% is further divided into priority household and Antyodaya household. Antyodaya household is the same that we have discussed before, poorest of the poor. So that's around 2.5 crore household is there. So total comes around 12.5 crore population. Here priority household also, it is actually fixed and designed and decided by the state, identified by the state. Yeah, when we discuss about TPDS, actually there was a universal coverage in terms of, population is divided into APL and then BPL, and also there was a Antyodaya households, right? So there is a coverage. APL will get at economic cost, BPL will get at half of economic cost, and this group will get at very cheap price. But here what is actually happening? Only 75% of rural population is covered. Urban 50% is covered, right? And total if you see 67%. This is what I have told you, 2/3. So 2/3 is covered means rest of the 1/3 is actually excluded. They don't get any benefit. So here partial coverage. That means not universal coverage like in case of TPDS. Okay, and here within that this 2/3 is actually divided into two category: priority household and again Antyodaya household. The issue price is same here and here. That is 1, 2, 3, coarse grain 1, wheat for 2 and rice for 3. There is no difference in the issue price. What is the difference? Allocation 25 kg and 35 kg. That is actually the difference here. Okay. Now there are some other features also. So forget about that subsidy part that I will discuss in WTO. There is a rule that you cannot give more than 10% of your agricultural output as a subsidy. This subsidy has to be restricted. See, if you give more subsidy, what will happen? The price will come down. When the price will come down, you can export it, and that other country will suffer problem with this cheap export. Okay, we will discuss that later. So here that is not the topic, no. So here we will stick to this topic. So write other features along with this. So I hope you understood this. So other features. First one, maternity benefits. Maternity benefits. So under that you can write every pregnant women and lactating mothers. Every pregnant women and lactating mothers will be provided free meals during pregnancy and 6 months after childbirth by local Anganwadis along with a maternity benefit of not less than 6,000 rupee. Along with that, a maternity benefit not less than 6,000 rupee. Okay, so that is a maternity benefit part. Second, free meal to children. So NFSA is covering other aspects also, that is maternity benefit, free meal to children. Under that you can write children of 6 months to 6 years, 6 months to 6 years, and children suffering from malnutrition, and children suffering from malnutrition will be provided free meals by local Anganwadis. Free meals by local Anganwadis. So why only 6 months to 6 years? What will happen after 6 years? 6 to 14 you have compulsory education, no? Like then you will get the midday, you will be part of midday meal scheme. So from 6 months to 6 year. Now what about up to 6 months? The mother is getting the benefit. Now so mother, it is only feeding, so mother will have to feed the baby, right? Mother is getting the food. So 6 months to 6 year, and also 6 to 14 will be covered under midday meal scheme. Okay. Now third one, food security allowance. One more feature, food security allowance. Under that you can write, it will be provided to persons who have not received any of the benefits. Okay, now one more line you can write there. I have told you in the beginning itself, the eligible households to be identified by the state government or union territories. Write that also. The eligible households, whether it is priority household or Antyodaya household, it will be decided by the state government or union territories. So the eligible households to be identified by the union territories or the state governments. Now there is an element of women empowerment also here. What is that? Women empowerment part here. So just write, the eldest woman of 18 years of age or above will be the head of the household for issue of ration card. So eldest woman of 18 years of age or above, 18 and above, eldest woman will be the head of the household for issuing the ration card. So the ration card will be issued under the eldest woman who is above 18 years of age in the family. There is one more provision for grievance redressal. So states have to designate an officer as a district grievance redressal officer. Just write, state have to designate an officer as district grievance redressal officer. Under that one more point you can write, state food commission to be established.
So can you repeat?
Which one? Grievance redressal. State government have to designate an officer as district grievance redressal officer. A normal simple point. So you have to appoint a district grievance redressal officer. Next point, state food commission to be established. State food commission to be established to monitor and review implementation of NFSA. State food commission to be established to monitor and review implementation of NFSA. Okay, so that's about NFSA, National Food Security Act. So we have discussed about PDS. We started with PDS, and I've told you PDS was restructured into TPDS, now NFSA. Okay, so here NFSA, not universal coverage. Here universal coverage in terms of APL and BPL. So here only 67% of the population is covered, but the subsidy burden is more because the price is so less. 1, 2, 3. There is a price for that 67%. Now next topic is PDS reform. Public distribution system reforms. Can be a mains question.